and I also need to record this. So this is where Google always messes me up.
Damn you, Google.
I know, right? So aren't we supposed to be recording this at the same time?
I think so.
Isn't it recording?
No, well, that's the thing. It messed me up the last time when I did this. But the first time I did it, it was totally fine.
Right. Is it in control room?
Go to control room.
Let me just mess around here. Okay. Now the CIA is watching us.
Police surveillance number 2.
You see me in the little corner?
Well, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up there. You are down there though.
My girlfriend.
So let's
I can't see anything. All I can see is your receding hairline. That's all I can see.
That's not going to send me to therapy. Boom!
Okay,
Boom.
so we are going to start, and we're going to see what happens with this sucker. So I would like to welcome everyone to this episode of My Spotlight TV, powered by dotstudioPRO. Today we are going to be featuring Parked, the web series. And we're going to stop sharing our screen now. Hey guys. Nice to meet you all. This is going to be an exciting and fun-filled little ditty that we're doing here because you guys are a lively bunch. So
no pressure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Got no doubts in my mind. So first, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the web series and the fact that you guys. This web series was born out of, or the concept behind it is the life of the 30-something, finding yourself, figuring out where you're at, who you are, where you've come from, and where you're going.
In the modern day, these days.
These days.
It's not a period piece.
Right. Are you still in your 30s?
Yeah. I'm 34. I'm I'm the baby of the group. Yeah.
So we've got Sean. We've got Sean talking there, and Sean, I'm going to say I may bastardize your last name, Amsing.
Yeah, that's totally right. It's German, so it's actually quite easy to pronounce.
Okay, Sean Amsing. He is an actor, a stand-up comedian, as we can all tell, a rapper, a writer. He's released a couple of albums, and he's done a lot of television and film. So I've posted information on the event wall, so if anybody wants to check out more information on Sean, they can. I also will provide links to the website where you can read up on Sean as well. We have Kirby on board, Kirby Morrow, like tomorrow, but Morrow, who is the resident comedian today with the cat around his neck. Is a talent, is an expert in well-rounded actor in the show business, diverse actor, award-winning, experienced director. He's also one of the top voiceover professionals in North America, which is quite
please, it's all who you sleep with.
That's
I gotta start moving that into the women's zone because it's getting awkward. And anyway.
Right.
As far as writers go, it's who you don't sleep with because you're supposed to sleep alone every single night in the basement of your parents' house.
That's the only way to get ahead.
Exactly. So and then we have Adam. Adam, I always mess up the information here with your last name. So if you want to pronounce your
it's foreign. It's Thomas.
Adam O. Thomas, though.
Yeah.
So what does the O stand for?
Oh, I can't tell you.
Adam is one of the creative writers and producers on the show. So I think we'll start with Adam here and just kind of find out. It's an interesting project. I think especially for American productions, learning more about how Canadians get content funded, how they launch content, and how you guys have kind of adopted this whole digital world, because I feel like the Canadian industry is much further along in terms of creating a web series. And we've got another person joining here.
Yeah, Matty Granger.
Hey, what's
Matty
going on,
Granger.
Hey!
I'm alive.
Woo!
Welcome back from New Orleans.
Welcome back, Matty. Well, we'll just introduce Matty. Matty's appeared on numerous short films, including quite a few that you guys might have heard of. He also worked with Funny or Die in 2009. He also did a spoof on Pulp Fiction that won an award. So, Matty, thanks for making your presence.
He also rewrote Star Wars several times in Facebook updates.
I did. Yeah. I gotta admit, it's gonna be my version of Star Wars is gonna be better than what they end up doing. I have a feeling.
Oh, for sure. It wasn't made by Disney.
I know. I'll take that Disney check though.
Great. So now that we've gotten the first part of the humor out, Adam, we were talking about the fact that, I really feel like, as a Canadian myself, we, as the Canadian culture, when it comes to creating content, have had the opportunity, because of government funding, to really, dive into the web series world and really create strong properties online. So I'd love to kind of talk about the process with you and where the inspiration for the series came from.
Well, sure. I mean, start with addressing why we maybe do web series is because I think we're cheap. And we can't afford to do full feature films, so we find a really smart way of using that money wisely. And at the time, internet, creating an internet series was like a really much more affordable way to do it. That it was sort of the untapped, uncontrolled avenue to creating content and delivering content. So
it's chaos. It's chaos, like
yeah,
parenting.
It's a wild west out there, and everyone's trying to figure out how to do it. In terms of how the show came about, that was really just one of those stupid moments where I had a kid and was just thinking about that it would be funny to make a show about people like myself or people I know who were struggling to just make sense of it all and try to maintain their own identity in face of having a life-changing event like childbirth. And I ended up just starting to write some stuff out. A friend of mine, Siobhan McCarthy, the co-creator and producer on the show, she heard from my wife that I was working on writing a script with no idea where it was going to go, and she just said, "If you're interested in actually making this, I'll produce it." And we just started going from there. That was that was the whole thing. I mean, it all really did just start with me on the back porch drinking a beer, going like, "What the fuck have I done?"
and a little
That's me
Easter
every
egg
day.
for you all. A little Easter egg for you all. As am I muted? Why don't I show up?
You show up.
You are you don't show up on your own.
Yeah,
But if you want to watch us,
Yeah,
a
no,
lot.
I can see you.
So Adam, you talk with your left hand a lot. So lift your left hand up. Adam, yeah. See, there's the ring I wore in the show. Little Easter egg for everybody. That's the famous ring from Parks.
Yeah.
He gave me very strict instructions. If I lose, you will kill me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, Adam,
More importantly, I just would like to ask Kirby why he's got like a wall of handsome bearded gentlemen behind him.
Yeah, I just realized when I started
Thomas
they all you, Kirby.
is this what filming was like? Because this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it took 37 years to do the show.
Okay, so all jokes aside, Adam.
Yes.
In terms of getting this project funded, how did you guys go about getting it funded? Because again, it's a web series, and
Sure.
not everybody's going to invest in a web series.
No, first of all, we didn't really know it was going to be a web series. The concept was originally for let's make a TV show, right? It was, and so we sort of approached it that way. We got money originally to do a pilot episode, which came in at I think it was 12 minutes long. And it sort of introduced all these characters with the idea that this would be sort of like the pitching tool, the proof of concept, and then from there, we would go on and try to get more funding, which we did, and we got it through, Creative BC. They really they were the people who sort of really allowed us to make that first pilot. That we then leveraged. Siobhan would take that to Banff and leverage that, and then we applied for more funding from Creative BC and from the Women in Film and the BC Arts Council, and they all came in and and the IPF, ultimately the Independent Production Fund, they were the key people that really came in and said, okay, we like this concept, we can see where it's going to go, we're going to give you some money, and go ahead and make your show. But the real problem came when we realized that the money was awesome, but to make a show, it was not enough money. You could make maybe one episode, of a regular show for that amount of money. And so we'd written all these scripts that were based on regular broadcast length, and we just went, holy shit, we can't do any of these. So we went back and rewrote everything into kind of a basic strategy, was like blow it all apart and see what we could do to make smaller, more doable, tangible episodes. And so that's.
And they were shortened to what time?
What's that?
They were shortened to what time frame?
Well, I mean, originally, we sort of were like, well, let's try to do. There were some people at the time who were like, oh, do like everything has to be under 3 minutes, and and we didn't
Which
really.
is more realistic because it was the actual time it took to make your child.
Yeah, exactly. That's longer than it took to make my child.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were like, we sort of decided that, let's try to make things that are tangible, digestible, and smaller episodes, but we didn't want to give up the whole idea of telling a greater story. So that's why we kind of structured it as a season where there's an arc to each of these episodes. If you watch them all together, they are interlinking, and they do tell one sort of day in the life of all these characters, right?
Right.
And so that was a gamble on our part, like something that we wanted to do. We didn't want to just throw everything out. We did want to tell a story, but with each episode being able to stand alone. I mean, then it's a tricky project, like to try to balance all of those considerations, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask the cast, and I know that you all talk over each other, so you all can all pipe up. So what was the impetus for you guys coming onto this project? Like, what was it about this project that was like, yes, I want to be a part of this? And did you pick your character, or did your character arrive on your doorstep and this was like, this is the character for you?
I can take that one first, just because what comes to mind, in addition, like a long time ago, I don't know for sure if they had somebody in mind first. I think they did, actually, but I looked a lot like him. No, but the thing is, I didn't really necessarily get to pick because the guy's name was Davinder and I have brown skin.
Makes sense.
But it ended up that we kind of talked a little bit more in the room about my skill set. They were really interested in what things I could do or bring to the table, and then we ended up writing into my skill set. Like, I rap, so we ended up making an episode where I rap, which was a really interesting idea and a really cool way to do it. And I remember that first pilot being brilliant, like really good. And we were always really excited. And then, what was it, like 2 years later, we decided to make it?
Yeah. It was the whole process from concept to like really to the series itself was like 5 years.
Wow. And so, Kirby, well, all of you guys, were you guys kind of on this project over the 5 years, kind of watching the growth of it?
I'm the rookie. They cast this project and then lost the cast member, and then I never got into the original auditioning, so someone's getting fired. But then I was asked to audition to fill this role, and I was the first person to audition. And David Lewis said to me, he was like, I was really excited, and you came in, and you did a really good job. I'm like, this is going to be great. And he goes, and then everybody else sucked, so we had to go with you.
There you go.
I'm like, all right, go. So,
you did a great job, Kirby. Thanks for that.
So you're the rookie out of the group. So what about you, Matty?
I think Siobhan and Adam lost a bet with somebody and just put me in because they lost the bet. It's really my only.
Yeah.
My only real answer. I don't know. I just kind of. I think I got invited to the read-through. I don't remember. It was so long ago. I think I got invited to the read-through and it just clicked and it just worked. So.
Siobhan knew you before. And
yeah.
She's like, we have the character's a bit of a dirtbag. No offense. And I think I know somebody who would be perfect for this. And.
That's a nice way of looking at it. Yeah.
And so she was like pretty convinced from the beginning. And I remember I wasn't even at the auditions that day. I had to work, but I got all the tapes afterwards, like the whatever online, and I was looking through all of them, and it was like sort of like I got my no, and then it was like you, and I was just like, oh yeah, done, like perfect.
Perfect.
I mean, just you got it was a natural fit, right?
Nice.
And a funny story is like with Sean, like we originally had some of the character character traits and personality things mixed with David Lewis. Like we had the characters were a little bit different originally, and as we discovered Sean's like originally I had David Lewis as being like kind of this want to be like musician guy, and then we realized that he can't sing, doesn't play any instruments, or do it has no talent whatsoever apart from acting, and and then we found out that Sean had all these.
You never saw the thing that he does with his tongue and his.
I don't like to talk about that.
Talk about how David Lewis got his part.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Well, no one really knows. No one really knows how he got his part. Money was exchanged. But then we were like, oh, Sean can do all this. He can do the singing. So we just kind of switched all these parts and rewrote the characters based on like who could do what, and that made much more sense. Like why try to force like a fake performance?
So, and in essence, you tried the traditional route of casting and everything, but at the end of the day, it became a little more organic as you found your characters and started to kind of like map your stories a little bit more around these characters.
Yeah, and like the skills that people actually have, right? We wanted to play with those and exploit them, not in a third world kind of way, but.
That's very un-Canadian of you, because Canadians are very, from my experience as a Canadian filmmaker and producer, we're very much like, this is the script, you got to stick with it, you get funding, you got to stick to what they say. So this sounds like you guys had a little bit more of an organic process. So kudos to you.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, we had to. We worked. I think all of us have worked collectively or collaboratively previously. So the concept of working and not holding on to things too tightly was nothing that was terrifying. You just want to try to make something good, right?
And let me ask you this: may offend some Canadians, but I really don't give a shit whether it does or not. Generally, when you look at Canadian content,
they can't even defend themselves.
I know. But generally, when you look at Canadian content, it's fucking Canadian content. So this series does not look like Canadian content. It's much more polished. It's much more, like cutting edge. Like, what was the process for you guys? Because generally, it's like you look at a Canadian show and you're like, oh, this is Canadian. It just needed just a little bit more for it to be better. But your show didn't. It was like on point. So, like, was it the editor? What did you do?
Nice.
Yeah,
actually, I'm lesbian, and half native, so I fit into the Canadian content thing there. I got a card and everything, so half native, lesbian. That's what gets funding. I'm so getting in trouble.
I think probably it was having Peter DeLuise come on board early on too really helped. Like, he was he directed all the episodes. He directed the original pilot, and having someone of that skill level and that competency, being able to handle the material, knowing what's funny, and having a good relationship with us as the writers and creators, knowing that we could talk to him about something. That's what sets it apart. I think just the confidence. He was able to move very quickly, get a lot done, but have a real handle on the material. And the guy's a total pro, right? So. So that's certainly going to help when when the show we used 2 cameras, that helped a lot when doing comedy. You capture comedic moments from different angles that allows you to cut better differently. All of those just kind of things I think help raise the level. We had a lot of pro editors all the way through, like six different editors, but they were all like super awesome. So all of that really helps.
So let me ask you guys, because you guys did like the festival circuit and the actors, you guys, some of the topics in the series were kind of controversial. Like you got guys drinking beer in a park with kids and smoking weed. Was that okay for you guys, or were you uncomfortable, or you were like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it? Like what,
I've been thinking about that actually for a while, and I don't have children just because I don't think there needs to be any more pretentious people out there, and I think that's what I'd create. But the thing is you in our day and age, we've realized that parenting where you shelter kids from the reality of things, where you lie to them, even if it is like, oh, daddy's perfect, Daddy doesn't drink, Daddy doesn't do anything, Daddy's a model citizen, then you start to create this this expectation of your children, and then your children end up like thinking that they have to be perfect, and there's a lot more shame when they start making like there's no there's no actual humility in that. So I think it's a forward-thinking, less controversial, but more like this is where the world's headed, and a lot of people are kind of in that world. Like, being honest with your child is like creating a real relationship with them.
So did you guys
And plus, before filming, we all did a boatload of cocaine, so nothing seemed to matter when we went to the park.
Nice.
Nothing.
I can't feel emotions when I'm with you, but I love it.
So did you guys like block off a park? Like, did you guys like actually like get permits?
Have to do what?
What was the question?
No, did you guys like get permits and like block off a park and like have to like kick people out so that you could film?
Yes.
Nice.
Except for those road hockey guys that were assholes.
Ah, well.
Yeah, those guys. I remember those guys.
Yeah, they were trying to take slap shots to ruin our takes.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, Matty, tell me what your favorite episode was filming.
Mine.
You're the douchebag.
Mine. No.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one was, I don't know, I like the last one. I like the last one the most because I really didn't have to do a lot of actual acting, and I got to yell swear words at kids. And so that kind of really was all I cared about. That was good for me. I'm not good with emotion, so it's nice that my only emotion that I can go to is anger. And
are you crying?
Inside, dude. Inside every day.
Let them cry, all right?
Let me cry.
All right, let it out.
No, I enjoyed them all. I had a good time on all of them. They were all really fun.
Good answer, Matty. Good answer.
What about you, Kirby? What was your favorite episode?
I like the last one a lot. The party scene was funny with Little Person Bill.
Oh, yeah, Little Person Bill.
I love Matty's improvs in there. It's like,
yeah, I was all improv. I don't have I don't as an actor I don't have the ability to do one very important thing when it comes to acting, and that's remember things. So and yeah, I don't remember things, and I don't remember dialogue very well. So really, it was just kind of me sort of remembering what was in the script, and then
we'd offered to give you an in like Cyrano de Bergerac it, like in Roxanne, like
that's what I should have done.
Yeah.
I would have Gerard Depardieu whispering to me from a bush.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, what was yours?
It's funny, like, as far as, I really liked that last episode, too, because we all kind of came together. It was really cool. And I thought that there were some really good parts in the first one, too. But my favorite episode was something that no one saw, was that first pilot. That very first pilot.
Yeah,
really funny to me. I thought it was just so great. I thought like the writing. That being said, I guess there might be more material out there that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, and well, actually, the thing I loved about you guys and the web series was that you didn't just shoot just like a certain amount of episode web series. You guys actually created a lot of ancillary content around your short form content, which a lot of people don't do. So you guys have like moments of truth. You have holiday stuff. So you guys like were really smart and really extended the life span of the content in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really fun. I love some of the like ancillary content, or the secondary stuff that's like I don't know, the surviving parenting things. Those always kind of just make me laugh. They're stupid. They're more low budget than maybe the higher the major episodes, but I just think they're sweet little moments, right? And even the moments of truth was those ones figuring out like those are a little bit more serious of like the moments. Those are like the moments where you're like, shit, like this is not really happening. I don't know. It was just fun to have that all those different moments and backup content or extra content. It helps fill out the world a little bit better.
So are you guys going to do a second season?
Someone wants to give us some money. That's where, I mean, that's always the contingent, right?
The answer is yes, and it's not called Parked anymore. It's actually just called Oil, and it's all about working in the sands and how it's a great environment for families.
Nice.
And how it sustains the economy. It's all about.
Nice.
I've always wanted to do either like a season or like an episode of just me and Colin Fu, where Josh has to move in with Colin, and I completely devastate his traditional Chinese family with my tales of sickening sex.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
That would be really good. I mean, we've got stuff written, right? Like, I mean, I really wanted one of the things I really wanted to capture was like with Colin Fu, who plays Jimmy Z, the shopkeep owner, right? Like, I wanted him to like really play up the his like internet presence of like being kind of a internet famous karaoke singer that he, you know, from his like back room in his store.
Wow, that's really smart. That's funny.
You know, that kind of thing. But I mean, there's no lack of content. It is about just, you know, trying to get money and trying to get, you know, financing. And it was like, you know, it's a big haul from, you know, 5 years to keep, to get to the internet. You know.
So Matty's trying to keep his heart rate up.
Well, wow, we got an exerciser here. So Matty, what are you working on now?
Oh, geez. I've been doing lots of stuff. I've been. I have a film going into production in the spring out in Winnipeg, based on a short film I produced and co-wrote a few years ago. It's now a full-on feature. I think we're making it for about $3 or $4 million with the guys who produced the show Bitten out of Toronto.
Yeah.
So we're my brother and I wrote that, and we're currently out to some sort of big Hollywood people to play the lead in that, which is great. I have another script that's currently being shopped around down in LA, which is really wonderful. I'm bit acting on the side, doing stuff on Arrow and a bunch of other shows like that. And sort of just trying to do my thing day to day, keep going, making music, making movies, you know.
Nice. Kirby, who are you sleeping with now to get your next role?
Whoever will take me.
Are you trying to make Adam jealous?
What are you working on now, Kirby?
I just got back from Comic-Con in Halifax.
Oh, geez.
That was fun. It's go and meet peeps and sign autographs and stuff because I do a lot of voice work and a lot of famous cartoons. I just booked a Greg Kinnear movie. I found out today. Woo! Nice.
Nice work.
And working on Ninjago, Lego Ninja Warriors, and Lego Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Lego
cool. And then
Star
I can see that
Wars.
there's some laundry in the background there, so that's your next gig out after this is done?
Those are all. For some reason, all my clothes have been shrinking. I think that's like the oxygen is in the air has been shrinking the clothes. I don't know what's happening, but nothing fits me anymore. So I'm gonna get rid of that.
Because you gotta stop riding that bike, man. You're getting too huge.
Yes.
Right? Okay, Sean, what are you working on now?
A lot actually. I am just recording another album with my band, The Works. It's like The Weeknd meets Mumford and Sons. I don't know. It's lots of different things. We're called The Works for a reason. We do every genre. Last night we were in the studio till 4 a.m. recording this really up-tempo blues track. Doing lots of music, but also I'm doing my best to write this cartoon called Grampires, which is about some old vampires. So that takes a lot of my free time.
Vampires.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, Kirby, I'd like to talk to you about that because you got all those voices and shit like that. But I'm gonna do like a read, and I might do crowdfunding for it if I don't hear anything from some major players like Adult Swim or whatever. I actually don't think anyone else would probably take that. And you definitely can't do it live action because no one gives a shit about old people. Sorry, Adam.
Nice.
All right.
So, Adam, as one of the creators, what's next on the docket for you?
Right now we're trying to develop the Great Canadian Western Action, historical action project, and I decided to slow things down a little bit and work with a friend of mine. So developing just a graphic novel series.
Oh, awesome! That's great.
They probably just release it online, but at first, anyways, to save and have control over just the timeline, low cost. She's the artist. I'm gonna write it, and set in suburbia in the 1980s.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
just to wrap things up, we've been watching Parked, the cast, some of the cast, and one of the creators of Parked, the series. I want to commend you guys. You kicked ass online. You do great social media across Facebook and Twitter. I'm always amazed at how fast you guys respond. You've been really, you followed your instincts and been really successful with funding as well as doing, Kickstarters and Indiegogos. Well, you did an Indiegogo. And you really did that for more audience, right, Adam? You did that to kind of build more audience.
And more money.
And more money.
Yeah, let's be honest. And more money. Yeah.
Okay. And they've really branched out and made sure that they have not turned, or no stone has been unturned when it comes to distribution. They're on YouTube. They're on Dailymotion. They're on dotstudioPRO. You guys you've run the festival circuit. I think you're still kind of running the festival circuit to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You won awards. I know Siobhan won an award for directing. Do you want to talk about some of the
Peter won the award for.
Oh, that's right. She accepted the award for Peter.
Right, and David Lewis, if he was here, he would remind you that he also won a Leo.
Right. So you guys won a Leo. You won a Best Directing award. And you've been nominated quite a few times. So you guys have, how many festivals do you think you guys have done to date?
Oh, I don't know, dozens.
Yeah. So you guys have run the gamut, and that's across the U.S. and Canada, right?
For sure, yeah, and England as well, and stuff like that, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
I mean, we can't go to them all.
Right. Well, you can go to some of them. Canadian government does give you funding and passports to go to different places, so unlike other countries, we're quite fortunate.
That's great, yeah.
I'm going to share my screen and just share some of the other places that you can find Parked. So you can find Parked on their website, which is parkedtheshow.com. You can dig into the cast there. We've got Surviving Parenting featured on the homepage here. You can dig into the cast, the characters, behind the scenes, the blog, and the store. So support the show and buy some merch. You can also visit their Facebook fan page, like them, share it, check out their Watch Videos tab. The series is also here, powered by dotstudioPRO. You can also check them out on Twitter. You can go to any one of these links here. You got YouTube, you got Google+, you got Instagram, you got Twitter. They will tweet you back. They are an amazing crew when it comes to social media.
You got nothing else to do.
There you go.
Talk to us, please! Please talk to us!
I have time. I'm working on a graphic novel.
Kirby's
It's been another episode. Guys, I want to thank you all. You're amazing comedians, and you can tell that you guys have worked really well together. There's a camaraderie amongst you guys.
I miss you guys. Miss you guys.
Aww. Oh, shitty stats.
If you haven't seen the series, you should check it out. It's definitely for grown-ups, 420 all the way. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today and hanging out with us. This has been another episode of My Spotlight, powered by dotstudioPRO. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good.
Bye, guys.
Right on.
Wow.
Good to see you guys.
See ya.
All right, thanks, guys.
I'm lonely.
Okay, bye.
Bye.